Just one real quick one for you. We've had some great Hall of Fame, including this one here in St. Louis, the College Football Hall of Fame. When's Canton going to call you?
I don't know about Canton, but I've had some very good. Joe Green met me one time and he said, Dave, my name's Joe Green. I said, yes, sir, I know who you are. And he said, my hat goes off to you. He says, you and Darryl Grant have played the 4-3 better than anybody I've ever seen in my life. He says, we tried to do it. I tried to do it. He says, there's over 8 different combinations of people that can get you in the 4-3. And he said, you're the best player, so that was a hell of a compliment from a hell of a gentleman.
Yes. Welcome to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, Dave Butz.
2nd and 10 as you look at the massive hands and arms of Dave Butz, 6'7" and 295. Dave Butz has had such a spectacular day. That big guy, 300 pounds, 6'7", 6'8". He's been in those trenches a long time. He's had one whale of a day.
The St. Louis Cardinals players and coaches, and the head coach of the St. Louis Cardinals, Don Poirier.
One of the most promising members of the defensive line was number 62, rookie Dave Butz. At 6'7", 280, he has the size and athletic ability to become a star.
St. Louis suffered a severe blow in the opener when they lost highly prized Dave Butz for the season.
Hail to the Redskins. Hail victory. Braves on the warpath. Fight for old DC.
Dave Butz reduced that to the 2. Butz's big play was critical, for Morton would now try high-risk 2nd and 3rd down passes from his own end zone. It is rare indeed when Zonka actually loses yardage, and the 2 yards lost here were important. Here's how it happened. Watch Butz, the 4th Redskin, from the left as he goes over John Hicks' attempted cut block to nail Zonka. The Washington Redskins' hopes for a wild card spot hinged on winning this game, and at times they reflected the urgency of the hour.
Play action, 2nd and 8. Bounce is sack. That is only the 28th sack of the year for the Scare. And it's going to Washington. The fumble is recovered by Washington. Dave Butz is the man who got it. 2 interceptions by Lavender and a fumble recovery by Dave Butz. It's going to be the Washington Redskins. 65 Dave Butz, a little game he had with the defensive end. Come around, knocks the ball loose from Dan Fouts. And then 71, Carl Lortz came up with the fumble recovery and another big break for the Washington Redskins. Cleveland loses their 9 with Houston pounds the sack. Dave Butz got it. That is the 3rd sack for the Redskins in the ballgame. There's a loss of 1 by Dorsett. Up and down on 11. Dorsett gets the ball. Down goes Dorsett. It was big Dave Butz hustling across there to make the stop and hold Dorsett.
1:16 on the clock. This Marcus Anderson has tons of speed, number 88 for the Bears.
Evans looking the other way. Dave Butz. Dave Butz is going to score. Did he make it in or not? And the ball dropped into the end zone. They rolled it down at the 1-yard line. Dave Butz nearly took the ball all the way.
Let's watch Evans under pressure. I don't think he even saw him. Butz was double teamed. He just went out there in the flat there, and he was throwing to Walter Payton, and Butz grabbed that ball like a wide receiver. There's 295 pounds of romping, stomping dynamite heading for that goal line, and 270 pounds of Dan Neal grabs him by the neck and downs him. He was down. The ball scooted loose. It's 1st down for Washington.
Number 65, Dave Butz, anchored the defensive line, having the best season of his 9-year career. The doomsayers predicted the end of Washington's title hopes, but Dave Butz was determined not to let them die. The next week in St. Louis, Butz and the blue-collar boys of the Washington defense rolled up their sleeves and went to work. Washington's Warriors were duty-bound to avenge their only loss. Washington fans knew a championship defense was shaping up. Barging up the middle was Dave Butz.
The hard inside power rush by Dave Butz. He can rush over good people, like right here. He rushes over the top of Hara, who does a fine job of blocking him. But you can see the power, and he eliminates the quarterback pocket.
At left tackle from Purdue, number 65, Dave Butz. On 2nd and 1, Woodley. Fumble. Redskins have a shot at it. If it stays in bounds, did it? Yes. Washington's ball at the 46-yard line. Dexter Manley made the hit. Dave Butz recovered it.
Was hit by Dexter Manley.
A hit reminiscent of the big hit he made on Danny White just before the half in that game against Dallas. Butz will be coming from, or Manley will be coming from the right side of your screen. Just swarms over the top of Woodley. The ball bouncing 20, 30 yards to the sideline.
One of the owners of the Washington Redskins, Jack Kent Cook. Like they don't care. That's after Dexter Manley forced the fumble and Dave Butz recovered at the Miami 46-yard line. That turnover table so critical. Dolphins a +4, the Redskins a +8 on the regular season.
Butz, of course, plays the run very efficiently, but Miami challenging him on the offensive line. He's head up there and gets the block of number 57, Dwight Stevenson.
2nd and 4. Nathan. Oh, they had good penetration, did the Redskins that time. They beat the Miami offensive line off the ball, and a loss suffered by the Dolphins as Dave Butz again right around that football.
And that, of course, is exactly what Richie Pettibone wants.
Dave is quiet and composed.
I'm a little bit older, a little bit more reserved. It's hard to find anything that we both think and do the same way. The only thing that we do is play on the same team.
They are like oil and water, but defensively, they blend together to wreak havoc upon opposing offenses. The 1983 season saw Washington march to the tunes of glory. Every team wanted to defeat them, but the Redskins survived the NFL gauntlet. They finished with a 14-2 record.
So he throws underneath. He goes to Lofton. Lofton look for additional yardage. Meade in motion, and here comes Eddie Lee Ivory. He's met quickly. Big Dave Butz pulling out from his defensive tackle was there first. 6'7", 295 pounds, Dave Butz. He's having a great year. And it's Butz once again. Oh, man.
The blue-collar boys were working their way to the playoffs. They demolished the New Orleans Saints 27-10.
He's flanked to the left, and now he goes in motion. Dorsett, the lone setback. White looking for Dorsett. No place to go. Caught from behind. Dave Butz sacks Danny White. Redskin defense led by that man, number 65, Dave Butz.
Watch Dave Butz here, 65. See, now Kurt Peterson was coming out. He was trying to get the middle linebacker, and Butz knocked him off and then knocked everything back. Look at all those red jerseys.
Dave Butz is serious about this game.
That's why the Redskins are number 1 in the league against the rush. Those two guys there, 77 Grant, and right next to him, 65 Butz. They fill up a huddle pretty good. You know, on a 4-man line, those 2 inside tackles have to be strong. On a 3-man line, it's a nose tackle. You can't give a soft spot in the middle against the running game.
Washington leading by 7. 3:14 left to play. Here's Dorsett, taken from behind by Dave Butz. What a day he's having. 2nd and 2. White will throw if he has time, and he doesn't. Dave Butz comes firing in.
I think that's that same stunt, Pat. The end comes inside, and Butz goes outside. Watch him here. Now watch Butz. He's lining up over the guard. See, he starts out to the outside, goes around. Now Peterson, the right guard, can't get back to him. He just stunts right around the tackle and into Danny White. That's not a bad stunt because you have to get around there and turn that corner quickly.
Dave Butz, who is sort of operated in a shadow over the years, although he's been a very, very steady player. If there's ever anybody who deserves to be in a Pro Bowl, it would be Dave Butz. And Butz would have none of it either. No influence. He was talking to us about that influence business last night, which I thought was very interesting about how they had planned to play defense today. First and 10 from the 10 with 9:55 left to play third quarter.
There's big Dave Butz. Look at that. They got the arm, the helmet's all bashed up. Jersey saying, come on, let's go. Come on, give us some work here in the pit. Run at us. I play to run. You guys don't run.
From the 10, Lomax gets back to Anderson. Again, they go to the left side, and again, they get very little. Dave Butz was the first man there. Gets Rutledge the quarterback. Morris in the backfield. Long count. Here come the Redskins, and the ball is loose this time. And the Redskins have it. This is a fumble. Monty Coleman came on a blitz. And Dave Butz made the recovery. He may not give that ball away.
He's not going to give it. He better not sit on it, but he's not going to give it to anyone else. Look at that thing. He may squeeze that thing so hard he'll pop it.
A 22-yard gain is negated at 1st and 15, and Cribbs finds no room at all. Runs into the middle of the pack, and Butz makes the tackle, and Rice is up and just about ready to come back into the game. In fact, here he comes. 49er fans breathing a sigh of relief. And Montana gets sacked at the 4. Dave Butz, number 65, who is the oldest defensive player in the league at age 36. 14th year. His role is not to pressure the quarterback. His role is to control that line of scrimmage from tackle to tackle. He knew he was in deep trouble. He could smell it on the left, smell it on the right, and he could see it in the front. First and 20, and Butz gets the sack. That's his second of the night. Watch again, 65, left side of your screen. They were trying to cross block that. Play action fake. Quillen and Cross.
Such hopes were quickly dashed by the Redskin rush. Dave Butz, Darrell Grant, Monty Coleman.
2nd and 7 at the 25. And McNeil was tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. On the stop, Dave Butz also involved. There is Butz. Last season, he was talking retirement, but was talked back into returning. And at 37, he is the NFL's oldest defensive lineman.
While the coin is in the air. Don, would you please toss the coin? Heads, he says. Washington has won the toss and will receive at this end. Good luck, men.
With 3rd and 3 at the Redskins' 7-yard line, Denver's head coach Dan Reeves needed a play that would, at the very least, keep the drive alive. In a similar situation, when these same two teams had met a year earlier, Reeves had sent Elway on a quarterback draw. And when Denver successfully blocked out defensive tackle Dave Butz, the Broncos scored a touchdown. In Super Bowl 22, Denver would attempt this same strategy, only this time, the Redskins were ready. Dave Butz, number 65, was involved in a crossing stunt with number 77, Darrell Grant, who slanted into the point of attack. This allowed Butz to have a clear shot at Elway, who was dropped for a loss.
3rd down and 3. 4 wide receivers for Denver, and Elway, he's difficult here, but not ballgame. Elway has it tipped incomplete. That is by Dave Butz, I believe. 3rd down. 10 gives it to Winder, and Dave Butz is right there. Dave Butz, a teammate of Dan Dierdorf's with the Cardinals in the early. That is incomplete. Dave Butz.
Second time for that. John Elway gets to take his step, and Dave Butz, who never even left the line of scrimmage, hits the ball. You're 6'7", you can go up there a long way.
It was a record-breaking performance by a determined group of men who ambushed the...
And the big guy, Dave Butz, who went limping off earlier, back in action, showing he's plenty healthy.
In a Monday night matchup against New York, Washington held the Giants to a -2 yards on the ground. In 1989,
The Redskins bade farewell to defensive tackle Dave Butz, number 65, who established a team record by playing in 203 games.
Anderson was taken down by Dave Butz, who used to wear the St. Louis uniform. I thought they weren't going to run at him.
Everyone in the stadium had memorized the words to hail to the Redskins.
Dave Butz.
Whether you work up a man-sized thirst or a man-sized thirst, nothing tackles it like Diet Coke. The real cola taste you can drink more of, because it's just 1 calorie.
I'll flip you for it. Heads again.
Just for the taste of